Alright everybody, welcome back to the Hellcard demo. We've already done one build with mages abusing the Link spell, which gives all of that character's mana to each of the other team members. So basically doubling your team's mana, or doubling that person's mana for the team. We've also got Weave Ley Lines, which just gives us a bunch of mana, everybody, and 2 card draw, so for free. It's ridiculous. It's completely broken. So that, along with Link, is going to give the whole team a bunch of mana. We've also got some defense, Mark, Cold Arm. I don't care about any of these, because he's just going to be giving up his mana to the rest of the team. And this build is going to be all about the Deatheater sword on the warrior. So the Deatheater sword is going to gain 5 more damage every time it kills. So you can see where this is going. We're going to get a bunch of mana from the mage. We're going to use the Deatheater sword a bunch of times and make it do crazy amounts of damage so it can one-shot everything. And in order to keep drawing that Deatheater sword, we have Deep Breath, which gives us 2-card draw for 1 mana every time we use it. So we can just play the Deatheater sword and then play Deep Breath to get the Deatheater sword back, because as you can see, our hand is super duper small. So we're going to have our entire deck in our hand at all times. And this also gives us 2 stamina, so eventually we'll build up enough stamina to play the Deatheater sword for free once, which will play it twice, but that probably won't matter. And we also have Battle Juice, which will give 5 stamina and 2 mana and 2-card draw to the whole team. Well, the 5 stamina is just for the warrior, but the rest is for the whole team. So we can also use that 2 mana to pump up our Conjurer's mana before we use Link to give that 2 mana to everybody. So yeah, and then we got some AoE here in case we need it, and these 2 are just kind of extras that they're not important to the build. They're just there because I haven't gotten rid of them. If you want to see the Rune Mage, she's got Armageddon. Harpoon Bolt is always useful, of course, since it has its own card draw for the whole team, no less. So that's also another way for us to get the Deatheater sword back. Zap is useful for, massaging the hit point numbers so that we can get our kills in. Rune of Ice is very useful for control since it can freeze a whole area of enemies. Obsidian Dust, always good for the mage, makes the bolts do 1 more damage so that they can get more kills and more card draw. And then Comet Rune, Shield, and Magic Bolt are just stuff that I would prefer he didn't have, but he does. Oh, and then not really any important artifacts except for Kielbasa, which if we get really lucky might apply to the Deatheater sword and make the build completely broken. And yeah, we got 1 extra mana on bosses, and we heal after each fight. And if we have no skill cards in our hand, which is never going to happen, then this would apply. Somebody will get a free 5 heal each fight, and that's pretty much it. And this guy gets a bunch of block if he uses a bunch of bolts, which he of course will. So let's hit the fight. Alright, so we got Loony Ghosts, which I always hate because killing them reduces your further damage for that turn by 1. We have the Skull Spook, who is going to have a lot of hit points, but hopefully our Deatheater sword will help us out with that. And until we kill him, our skill cards are going to cost 1 extra, which super sucks. It means we get less damage, or less mana from our Battle Juice. Looks like we did luck out and draw Link on the first turn. Unfortunately, it's going to cost 1 mana, so that's going to cost the whole team like 2 mana. But we will make do. And then I believe that's also going to make our Deep Breath unfortunately cost an extra 1, which is going to severely hurt our damage output until we get rid of that spook. Then we got the shamanic goat boss. Each turn he's going to increase one of these guys' damage by 10, which obviously we would like to stop as soon as possible. And he's also going to buff everybody by 3 damage on this turn. The golem, he makes all the block stay for an extra turn. This guy gets 5 block every time he gets hit. That shouldn't be a big problem. Thanks to the Deatheater sword. And then these guys are nothing to worry about. They will easily be dealt with. Okay. So... oh, and it looks like Groundbreaker got made free from the artifact. So we want to start off by killing somebody with the sword. Unfortunately, if we kill the Loony Ghost, that's going to reduce damage by 1, which means we won't be able to one-shot one of these guys. Which is unfortunate. Unless, of course, we use... well, Coogie's going to go on the golem, though, so that's not going to help. Also, I'm not going to use Coogie until it's free. Alright, so what we need to do is a Rune of Ice. Get one of these into one-shot range for the Deatheater sword, and that'll also make the next target in one-shot range for the Deatheater sword. Happy day. Looks like we can hit all 3 of these. Although it would be nice to freeze that guy, but not gonna work out because I need to hit the Loony Ghost in order to kill it with the Deatheater sword. Oh, I did take 1 damage there, I forgot. One of those is a zombie. And we will Deatheater him. Do I want to lose the 1 damage on him? Because then we're going to have this 15 guy. We want to be able to one-shot him as well. Maybe we'll take one of these guys down by 2 and then Deatheater them instead. If we had Harpoon Bolt, we might be able to draw something else on the Conjurer here, but honestly, there's nothing that we want to draw on him. So I'm gonna go ahead and... oh, what am I doing? Obviously we want a Battle Juice before we do that. But I would also... in fact... oh, that's very tempting. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that after that takes 1 damage. Oh, I forgot that gives him 5 block. Okay. Well, anyway. This guy's attacking is annoying. Let's Deatheater him. Now we're doing 10. Let's do Battle Juice, that gives the Deatheater... no, okay. Let's link it. Now that we buffed up the mana, I mean, we could try and get another card draw for Magic Bolt so that we could get the Weave Ley lines, which would be very nice, but we'd have to get one of these guys down to 1. Yeah, I think we should just go with Link for now. Let's see, Deatheater Sword doing 10. So we could take this guy out. Fortunately, drawing is pretty expensive. Really need to get rid of the spook. I'd like to get these 3 guys, but oh well. May as well do this again. No point hitting him with it, because that's just going to give him 1 more block. Yeah. I hate killing that guy since that's free card draw. Really messing up the build. Let's just focus on getting him out of here. Oh, now we get Weave Ley lines, of course. I think we're going to save that for next turn. Well, hopefully we'll get it next turn. Wish I could get rid of these shields and shit. Can't do anything here because we didn't. I was hoping we'd draw the Groundbreaker again. So I guess we could play Armageddon. Hopefully it's not going to last that many turns, though. Obviously, Obsidian Dust. I wish we had drawn the Freeze. Fortunately, there's nobody left to kill for draw, so... I guess we're just gonna Armageddon and get through the Amnesia and shield a little bit of damage. Definitely not an ideal first turn. This is pretty much the only damage I've taken this entire run. Good lord, that's a lot. That's not good. We didn't get Link, we didn't get the mana, and I have nothing to kill, so I can't draw it with Magic Bolt or Harpoon Bolt. That's really bad. And our Groundbreaker isn't even free anymore. We can almost kill that guy. Of course. Not the way it's supposed to go. Well, we can freeze. Fortunately, doing a little bit of damage to these guys isn't going to let us one-shot unless we do more than 5. Which I can't. 5 is, in fact, the maximum that I can do. Other than Deatheater. This guy's doing even more, same damage as him. Ugh. Not good. Well, I guess we're freezing this guy. Put a mark on him, I suppose. Sap is going to give both of the scorpions more armor. So that's probably not a good idea. Well, shucks. Need 4 more, which we have. Okay. Really wish that the healing blood were on anybody else, preferably the Conjurer. Okay, so at least we got weave ley lines. Hopefully that will... Well, maybe we should put Deatheater first. 20, perfect. Use the weave to draw that, and it did indeed draw Link. Excellent. Now things are coming together. Finally. I don't think we're going to be taking any more damage, so go ahead and play that. Just to get it out of the deck. Deatheater sword again, please. Link. Deatheater sword is back. Fully won. Okay. Well. I suppose. we'll just finish them off. And there you go. So, normally, the first turn goes a lot better than that. But I think the point is made on the second turn. Had our cards not been costing, our skill cards not been costing 1 extra, and had it not been so many bosses that and so few other things to get kills on, it would have ramped up faster. And obviously, drawing weave ley lines would have helped a whole lot on the first turn. Or if we had had equilibrium or weave ley lines on the runesmith, which of course I would like to do, but I don't get to choose what cards the companions take, which is really annoying. But, you know, point made. Deatheater sword ramps up super fast when you have a deck as small as your hand, so that you can keep redrawing it with a couple of draw cards, or even yeah, you need a second draw card to get the first draw card back. So fortunately we had that, and that and Deatheater is really all you need. Got the Angry Emote, Talking Scabbard, kill all monsters with 10 or fewer hit points and a medium radius. That's nice. Unfortunately, the problem with these games is that the more cards you have access to, the harder it is to draw the ones you actually want. And the thing about this demo is, I feel like all of the OP cards are in the demo. So if you want to make a really OP build, it's probably easier to do that in the demo than in the full game. Though there is an endless mode in the full game, so I imagine, given enough time, you can make the build you want. But yeah, no deaths, pretty much no damage outside of that fight right there. And I probably will buy the game, though I think it's like $25 right now, which seems a little much given there's like 8 floors in the demo, and it looks like there's only 12 floors in the full game, so you're not getting a lot of extra content. Other than endless mode, that's really what you would buy the game for. But it is a really cool game. In case you don't know, it's a spin-off, a multiplayer adaptation of the Book of Demons game, which is basically Diablo, but a paper aesthetic and a deck builder instead of just set skills, which I am very, very fond of. Fantastic game. If you haven't tried it, go get it. And that's all for now.